Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Godsoe. Welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of Round 6 of Season 4 of the VOR ICONIC Series. As today we come to you from the Michigan International Speedway for the Michigan 200. Joining me in the booth, as always, he's actually the fastest man in all of iRacing pretty much all this week, is Kyle Klendworth. Have you got a chance to slow down any this week at all, Kyle?
I mean, I crashed my bike in real life on Wednesday, so I had to catch my breath there. Been a little sore around the house, but otherwise, definitely did not put up the fastest lap of the week at iRacing Super Speedway, but came home with 2 really big wins. So, I don't have any plans to slow down on the track, but relaxing this weekend is definitely on the agenda.
And there we get a bird's eye view of the 2-mile Michigan International Speedway. Back to the action on the track, getting ready to go official, and that is it. We now have a official starting lineup. We will get into that right now as we clear off the tree. There are your weather conditions: 72 degrees ambient temperature, 108 degrees track temperature, decent humidity, 45%, and light winds out of the northeast at 1 mile per hour.
Harry, I may have been on iRacing for a long time, but I'm not sure. Is there a way to tell the date on which the event is held once you're in the session? Oh, it says right there, it's August 25th.
Yeah.
So if you've ever been in southern Michigan in August, that humidity number is deceiving. It may say 45%, but I guarantee you any day in August this year in Michigan is probably much closer to 60 or 70.
And keep in mind, this is kind of southern-ish Michigan for location of the Speedway. So it is, yes, it does get a little uncomfortable there during the summers. Here is today's starting lineup. 16 cars today in today's field. O'Sullivan on the pole, the 222.8. Luis Nunez, that's not LGN, but Luis Nunez, 222.7 right next to him. Strauss at 222.6, and Salvazzi on row 2 at the 222.5. Then back on row 3, Shane Coker with a great run back there with Dan Inch. Back on row 4, Christensen and Alexander Miller. Griffin Yellen and Hugo Gallas back in row 5. Moving on to row 6 is Heshy and Boney. And then we got Gretsch and Altena back in row 7. And Robinson and Santos at the tail end of the field. But keep in mind, this is Michigan. As long as you're in the draft, you are never really out of contention here at all.
Well, the leader will be out of the draft, but obviously they're in contention.
Right. And we are underway, just momentarily half a lap away, or 3/4 of a lap away from going green.
Start your weekend off right with a little bit of afternoon action here from the Irish hills of Michigan. We got 100 laps, 200 miles queued up for you in these DW12 Elara iRacing machines.
These are a lot of fun to drive if you've never done them before. It is a free car on the service. It's a free series here in the league. Join the VOR Discord server to sign up to be a part of it. There is a Season 5 on the horizon. We'll show that graphic one more time. We'll show the points here in a little bit of the situation before going next week to Championship Friday at Las Vegas. Pace car getting ready to come off the track, turn the field over to Liam O'Sullivan and Luis Nunez on the front row, and we're getting ready to go racing here for 100 laps at Michigan.
Green flag, green flag.
And a good jump by Liam, and Lewis slots in immediately.
Never too early to talk strategy, but I heard that if you want to cut a stop, you're going to have to save a little bit on every run. Leading may not be the fastest strategy today because it's bad on your fuel mileage. We'll see if these drivers in second, third, and fourth just slot in behind O'Sullivan here. If they start to get racy, well, here comes Strauss on the outside.
Top four kind of broken away a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're 3 wide behind. That doesn't bode well for lap time. Dan Ench is the lead headhunter of the second pack there to hunt down the front 4.
On the inside there, that's Christensen.
Oh, Ench was up to the challenge. He reeled them in there. 0.3 of a second gone in one set of corners. That is how powerful the draft is here. Exactly right. As long as you can sniff the air of the car in front of you,
Right.
you're going to be substantially faster. Half a second a lap faster than Silvazzi.
Ooh, Julian almost gets into the wall. He is the points leader coming into today.
Three wide, he's looking to the white line to get by Christensen and Yellen. Yellen gets put at the meat in the sandwich, and like a hot dog in a bun, gets squirted out the back.
Oh, Julian getting close to his teammate there. They back off to one another.
Bonnie with the position.
Griffin Yellen, a real-world driver, drives for Jay Howard, former Indy 500 starter.
We have a new leader, Gary. It's Matthias Strauss taking the lead in commanding fashion in turns 1 and 2 over Liam O'Sullivan. Let's see if they play nice here.
Oh, car's in the wall. Car in the wall. Mike, is it Mike Robinson? Well, he was looking damaged, but I think he's out of it. And not out of the race, just out of the wall and out of damage. It snapped back into place.
So, yes, he actually, it looked like Altena maybe had net code contact with the wall. Griffin Yellen and Mike Robinson took evasive action behind him, and it net coded Mike into the wall. And I don't think Mike has lasting damage on his race machine. He does now. He's off. He's in the wall again off turn 2. Must have had a little bit of wheel damage, and his day is going to be done.
Yeah, he's towing right there. Maybe we can get a good look at what happened there.
Yeah, two laps in the same corner.
Yeah. As he's trying to catch it, and it just, by himself, goes around. Oof.
You could tell he was a little timid with the steering on the previous lap, just trying to feel the car out, see if there's any issues with it. Another car in the wall in the backstretch this time. I think it might have been Christensen. Let's take a look. Oh, it's Bonnie again. Again, a net code contact. Bonnie's up to 6th. I think he's our biggest mover. He and Kyle Gretsch are both up 6 spots.
And Coker in the wall there, coming off of 2. So a lot of cars are getting up into that gray and testing out the turn 2 safer barrier.
Safer, not safe. Not safe for race cars. Safer for the car pilots.
Safer, right.
Actually an acronym, if you're unaware. It stands for Steel and Foam Energy Reduction Barrier. That's basically a bunch of different foam blocks placed behind a corrugated steel wall, which is meant to flex and bend and distribute the energy more evenly when cars make an impact.
And you see the safer barrier all the way down the backstretch there at Michigan. Actually, all the way around this racetrack is pretty much the safer barrier.
they end up putting safer barrier on the pit road as well after Mark Martin's crash, or did they just put the pit exit wall toward the infield?
Well, we'll have to see when they car on the wall in the backstretch, and that's Griffin Yellen, and I think he is having ping issues.
Actually looked like he was trying to make a move on Santos. It just mistimed it. He's going to lose the draft here. We'll see if his car is operational or not. He seems to be up to speed despite not being in the pack.
Lovazzi was your leader. Now Strauss back at the front. The two Team Watson teammates swapping it back and forth. Liam O'Sullivan third. Bonnie, he is now fourth as he has been gradually moving up. Kyle Gretsch is fifth. Julian now up 8 spots to 6th. Hugo Gallas to 7th. Inch 8th. Nunez 9th. Now back to 10th. Christensen 9th. $12 of 100. We're about just shy of halfway through this first stint. We suspect if you want to make it really all the way to the end, you'll need to do at least 33 laps a stint.
33 twice and 34 once. 33 plus 33 plus 33 is 99, which is not 100.
No. And Gretsch
Julian
now
called
to the
me out.
second spot.
Julian called me out for having bad math, but you know, 33 times 3 is pretty easy. You get a couple of 9s right there. Kyle Gretsch up to second. He made a daring move last lap into 1 and 2. He seems to be satisfied with second for now.
And the car in the wall again. Griffin Yellen. And are we going to go yellow? Or is he going to tow?
He pirouetted off of that wall. Did a bit of a top dance there down the backstretch. I think his car is still drivable. He may bring it to the attention of his crew here to get the tow looked at. He does have a meatball flag, but I think they're able to fix this car. But he's probably not going to pick up many positions unless there's a lot of attrition further on in this race, so he may just hang it up. We'll see.
Edson Santos getting to run on a high side over Inch. Inch is going to go to the back of the pack now.
Oh, trouble on the front stretch. One in the grass. I think that's
Luis Nunez.
He didn't hit anything. What a save.
Oh, and he got a little bit of a help from Christensen. Gave him a chrome horn and a Punterino. And is he going to get a black flag? Because he did go through the pit road there. And normally when you come through pit road, even if you're sliding, if you're speeding, they're going to make you get a black flag. So we'll see if that's going to be a problem for him. He's still running right now. He'll have 5 laps to answer that if that's the case.
He was on the access road, but he was after the pit exit.
Okay, so he should be good then.
No black flag, correct. No damage either. His pace is okay. His tires are probably just screaming at him.
Silvazzi and Gretsch now have pulled away by 1.7 seconds over Strauss, as Gretsch was way up in the gray on the wall coming off of 4.
Yeah, I think Silvazzi and Gretsch have gone full push while everyone else is trying to make that 33-34 number. And they've decided to do a splash and dash or rely on a yellow somewhere through the race to equalize the fuel loads.
Well, we've had a couple shots at the yellow, and they just have not materialized. Today's, another car on the wall. That is Dan Inch.
It was so weird. He was off the corner going in a straight line. I think he was focused on the cars in front of him and not on where the wall was.
Today's rule set, 4 sets of tires, 1 in the car, 3 in the pits, 85% fuel. Pit road speed limits 55 miles per hour. It's a 2-mile D-shaped oval. 100 laps, 200 race miles. That is what we're expecting for today.
So if Silvazzi is going to do the splash and dash, I wonder if he's going to hard commit to getting tires early, such that, let's say, he pits at lap 25 each time, because he's committed to 4 stops anyway, right?
Right.
or if he's going to stretch it as far as it can manage. Because I think with his lead currently, it'd be very easy for him to fight through the pack and get his lap back if he even goes a lap down. He is so far ahead of these fuel savers.
Yeah, I think tires are going to matter for this race. That's what we were also being told in the pre-race meeting, is the tires will be a factor once again here on these cars at this racetrack. He is now a leader by a second over Gretsch. Gretsch then let's get the intervals on the tree here to get everyone a better idea of how everyone's split out.
About a second and a half ahead of Strauss.
Yeah, it's about a second and a half over Strauss there. Everyone else, I think, behind Strauss is doing fuel save. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely correct. Track record here at Michigan continues to be Paul Tracy. The lap he turned back in 2000 with a speed of 234.9. The old IndyCar IRL track record, Thomas Scheckter in 2003 at the speed of 222.4. These guys pretty much that speed in qualifying, 222s for much of the field. The career wins leaders here at Michigan and for IndyCar drivers are Johnny Rutherford and Gordon Johncock. Each have 4 wins and 1 500-miler apiece. Johncock won here in 82 to back up his Indy 500-mile win to get 2 crowns of the Triple Crown before losing the Triple Crown at Pocono to Rick Mears, who almost got him in Indianapolis that year. And Johnny Rutherford got his final IndyCar win here in 1986. Part of the 86 Michigan 500. Had a lot of attrition that race. 8 cars finished that race. As also notable for Jose Lee Garza's best finish in IndyCar racing. Finished second that day. Al Unser Jr. finished, I believe, a distant third, like 9 laps off the pace. So that's kind of how the attrition was for that race. Ooh, Gretsch into the wall coming off a 2. Bonnie almost in the wall off a 2. Everyone riding that high line, and they're running out of room with these tires are screaming at them now.
Yeah, the track temp's up to 110. Gretsch is in the wall again off of 4. I think he'll be okay.
Let's ride with Julian and see what he's doing. He is right behind Liam O'Sullivan. Going in to turn 1 in the middle lane, getting clean air. Now he's getting dirty air. Sounds like he's just in 6th gear and cruising right now.
Out for a Friday evening drive for him in the Netherlands.
You got a big run on Liam there and backed out of it.
That's what a big run lets you do when you're fuel saving. You just put your foot off the throttle. You say,
Yeah.
look at all that ground I made up and all that fuel I'm going to save when I don't have to put my foot on the accelerator. Edson Santos around the outside of Boney. Boney's trying to work his way back into the slipstream all the way down the backstretch. It looks like couldn't quite come to an agreement with Hashi. Oh, can I come in? Nope. Nope. Try again. How about now?
You're not clear. You're not clear.
If you weave enough, the guy behind you will lift. Eventually you'll be clear. Santos still on the move, this time to the outside of Christensen. Worst to first try. Oh, Christensen's doing the same move. Weave a little to the right. Try to find your way in. Hashi says, I saw that last lap. I'll go around you both. What a move. What great racing.
Yeah, back when the Indy cars did come here last, the DW12s was not part of the package that they raced in here. It was the older IR05 car, which is also on the IR05, IR09. That's also on the service.
Is that what they ran in Dallara Dash before the IR18 came out? Because I think I've raced in that car.
Yeah. has got around his teammate Liam O'Sullivan, and Julian now up to 4th. He has run down Strauss. So I'm not sure if he's going to pass Strauss or just stay in line. Although here comes Edson Santos. I think Julian wanted to go down there and saw Santos popped into the picture. Whoa, boy. Up in the wall there off of turn 4.
Santos is kind of getting the worst of both worlds right now. He's not saving fuel, and he's not making good pace. Salvazzi is in his own zip code. He's practically the North Indiana right now.
Oh, contact! Car spinning off the backstretch. Inch and Nunez. And then we're right at the first window for pit stop, so this is very fortuitous for everybody that is still on the lead lap.
So that just shows you how slow this fuel-saving pack was. Nunez spun out through the infield, caught back up to Dan Inch on the lead lap, all by himself with no help. You get door slammed off of 2 and end his day early here. It looked like a little bit of netcode, a little bit of indecision down the backstretch, but I think Nunez is upset that Ench was, on his screen at least, not in a straight line down the backstretch. And this is going to throw a big monkey wrench in the fuel number. We are not anywhere near lap 33. We're at lap 30.
Right.
So I think everyone will now be forced to stop an additional time. They're not going to do the 33, 33, 34, because now you need to go 34, 34, 35, right?
Right. And so this really does play into the hand of Salvazzi, who was kind of running like he was going to make that extra stop and just accept it.
Which I think Nunez may not have that much damage.
I don't think he does. I think it's just contact. And they're going to get those tires changed anyways. And while we're under caution, let's bring up the point situation. There you see them. Julian is our points leader. 231 to 185, 46 points over Edson Santos, 58 points over Liam O'Sullivan. Craig Forsyth not in the lineup today, 60 points over him, 83 over Christensen, who might creep a little bit closer to Craig with a good finish today. Patrick Salvazzi is 6th, Gallus 7th, Heshy 8th, Strauss 9th, Dave Stedman, the silent assassin, not in today's lineup either. He is the final driver in the top 10. We got one more round to go after this next week at Lost Wages. Here's a team point situation coming into today's race. A dead heat between Leaner Energy and Altina Autosport. Also not too far out of the battle, but just not in the lineup today, is 440 Racewear. And again, one more race to go. Gretsch beat out Salvazzi to be in first now off of pit road. So he will bring the field back up to speed. Salvazzi second, Strauss third, Edson Santos fourth, Liam O'Sullivan is in fifth. Julian has worked his way up to sixth, Daniel Heshy now seventh, Christensen eighth, Shane Coker ninth, and Alexander Miller. I believe Alexander is making his first start in the series. There he is in that bright green and black kind of reminiscent to that Monkey Garage livery at ran at the Indianapolis 500 in the past.
One thing I want to call out here, Gary, Hugo Gallas came in to top off the tank here on the last lap of caution.
Not a bad idea.
It will be easier for him to make the save and cut a stop. I kind of want to retread before. If these drivers did a good job of saving under caution, they're going to get the green with on lap 33. Which means instead of going 33, 33, 34, they're going to go 34, 34 to the end here. So if that's what they were aiming to do on the first stop anyway, there's no world in which stopping an additional time just for gas is faster than saving an extra lap. It'll be kind of close. We saw how fast Salvazzi was pushing it, but the rest of the pack was just so slow. But they won't be so slow that they get lapped by Silvazzi, right? Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Who knows? We might just stack them up here on the restart and then not even have to worry about it.
Right.
Green flag, green flag.
Good restart for Gretsch as we are back underway at lap 33. It is Gretsch, it is Silvazzi, it is Strauss. Top three going down the back straight. And then Edson Santos right with, and now Julian might just join his point rival as he is on the inside of O'Sullivan. And he slots in. So now Julian is in direct contact with his main rival in the points. Gretsch was down on the apron going through the tri-oval area, trying to break the draft already. A little early for that. We're a third of the way through this race now. Julian around Santos, moved Julian to fourth.
Right now, 9th place on back need to be a little bit worried, starting with Shane Coker. If Hesje and Christensen don't latch on to those front 6 of Leo O'Sullivan, they're going to lose contact entirely with that front pack. And then Nunez, trying to claw his way back through the field, is having no part of running single file.
Yeah, he's ready to move.
Sometimes you need to cooperate a little bit to move forward in the ranks. Fighting for every position right now may just slow this whole pack down and make it so the best you can finish is 10th instead of, 2nd or
right.
1st.
And Gallus is back there just in line, and he's doing what he has to do on this fuel save. He's going to have a little bit more in the tank than everyone else because he got this splash here right before the restart.
Now, what's important about that is that it won't let him eliminate a stop, but it will let him push harder for longer on the last stint. So when everyone else is running around trying to hit 34 laps worth of fuel, Gallus is only going to have to get 32 or 33, or maybe even 31, and he'll be full throttle pedal to the metal just like Silvazzi was on the previous run. Versus how much pace do I want to give up? You saw Ryan Campbell and I do that last night in the Warriors IndyCar Series at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Right.
God. Miller just did a great swap on Coker. If Coker can swap back, they may be able to catch Hesje and Christensen. Silvazzi and Gretsch are doing the same at the front of the field, so the front pack also has...
here's Julian to the inside of Gretsch, and he is now around Gretsch. There he is, just clears him, slides up in front of him. And Santos and Strauss there side by side. Liam O'Sullivan is 6th. Yeah, right in this battle. We have 6 cars under a blanket at the front. Julian has now moved to the lead. He's feeling good. Problem is, you can't save a lot of fuel when you lead the pack. Oh, wow. Silvazzi, I think, maybe kissed the wall a little bit.
Well, he let Altena right up there with him. They were both playing spin the bottle, and they both came up wall.
Gretsch now to the bottom and comes through. He's going to come off the corner side by side with Silvazzi. Julian's going to give the draft to Silvazzi, not help out Gretsch. Gretsch going to get back in line. Slots himself between Silvazzi and Strauss.
From Santos to the inside of Strauss.
Nunez has finally worked his way around this crowd and got him up to 9th. Next up for him is Christensen.
There's one solidified backpack and one solidified front pack. 6 cars at the front and 7 cars at the back here.
Julian looking to break the draft now. Oh, Santos! That had to be wall contact.
I'm not sure he hit the wall.
That looked really close, yeah, especially with the way that the car made evasive maneuver.
I think that was him lifting and corking full left. I'm surprised he didn't spin out. What a save from Edson Santos.
If you enjoy Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR Iconic Series and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts. And that is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. The IndyCar Championship will be at the Detroit Road Course on Belle Isle. And also in the booth with me for that one will be Kyle Klendworth.
I don't know nearly as much about going right and left. I'm really good at going left. But any chance to be in GM's backyard at Belle Isle, I'll hop on and calm the best I can.
It's like everyone has done a little time on the wall today. It's almost like this is our version of the old Darlington stripe. Back up front, Julian and Silvazzi trying to work together. Pulled about a second lead on Gretsch. Fastest lap of the race is Santos with a 32.1.
He has that by 0.001 seconds over Gretsch. Their times were nearly identical.
And that's what they look like. 2:23.815 versus a 2:23.806. Julian, big run on the high side. But everybody turning laps in the 2:19s.
Nunez and Christensen are working doggedly here to hunt down that front pack. Nunez would have gone from the back to the front to the back again. To the front.
Now he's getting a move on Christensen to move himself up to 7th and to lead this second pack.
Yeah, they've been swapping the last few laps here. They've made up about a 10th or a 10th and a half every lap they've done so. It'll be too long before he has the draft of Strauss himself.
Quickly coming to half distance. There's Nunez driving that Nestle Nesquik livery. I believe Marco Andretti drove that.
And again, the magic number is 66. If you can make it to 66, you probably are good to go to the end, but you'll need to save just a hair. If you can make it to 67 or further, like we think Hugo Galez will, you'll be able to push on that last stint rather than having to conserve.
And that's about 16 laps from now. And there is Hugo. He's in danger of falling out of the draft of Bonnie, so he needs to really keep his foot in it.
He's right on the edge of the envelope there.
And speaking of Mr. Bonnie, we do want to thank him for his sponsorship of the VOR ICONIC Series. It's brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and much like the United States, the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, contact Alexander at alex@ifspfp.com. Again, that's ifspfp.com, and the link is in, or that email link is in the description. Up front, Julian's pulled away by 8/10 now over Patrick Salvazzi.
In addition to Alex helping out the series, I'd love to thank him for his bold moves on the track earlier today. He's always a treat to watch out there on these ovals in the Iconic Series.
He does have a racing pedigree, a very strong racing pedigree in the bloodline. I don't know how much he wants that to be known, so I'm not going to name any names, but his relative was an extremely good IndyCar driver. All I gotta say. He caught a little bit of a loose situation there, turning into one. Meanwhile, back up front. Go ahead.
I said Miller put a move on Christensen there into 3, so he and Hashi are trying to reel back in Nunez, who I think has caught that tail end of the lead pack. So Miller around that Nesquik car.
Miller's car really reminds me of that Monkey Garage livery that Brian Clausen drove for the 500. Forget exactly what year. Probably 2017, maybe.
I love
2016.
The matte black greenhouse. It looks very
good. And we're about now 10 laps away from that 66 mark that you were talking about. Can anyone make it? We are 25 laps into this stint.
I'm pretty confident most of the drivers will be able to make it to 66, but making it to 67 will make the final stint easier. But if anybody pits on like 64, 65, those guys are in trouble to even making it to the end, right, without a yellow. Nunez has caught O'Sullivan. Nunez is on a mission.
Yeah, he is.
He's seeing nothing but the color red. He's been spun out twice, and here he is fighting for a top 5. Way to go, Luis.
If you like what you see and like to be part of future races of the VOR Iconic Series, click on the VOR Discord invite in the description and sign up today. The car is free. Part of your base iRacing package. Joining the league is free. All you need is a desire and the tracks on the schedule. If you think you got what it takes to race with the VOR Iconic drivers, we encourage you to sign up today. Again, the invite to the Discord is in the description. Here is the Season 5 schedule for the VOR Iconic Series coming up. Starting at January 10th at Legacy, Texas. Then we'll be back here at Michigan on the 17th, and January 31st, Milwaukee Mile, Iowa, Legacy, Kentucky, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Kansas, Phoenix, the proper Phoenix, Auto Club, as I call Fontana, Homestead, Miami in April, and the last race on the schedule ending May 2nd at Chicagoland. Races will be on Fridays unless otherwise announced at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they'll be all broadcasted right here via the P1 team for the P1 broadcasting channel here on the Velocity Online Racing channel on YouTube.
And in addition, if you race in this iconic series, not only will you get untold fame and glory from winning the championship, but if you do so, you get a free ticket to go race on Saturdays in the IR18.
That's right. Yeah, you do get promoted to the IR18 IndyCar Championship with a winning, if you do win the championship. That's an entry paid for by the league for you to go race, which is the Saturday league they run. That will be a broadcast tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Seriously, some of the best on the service racing.
And let's get this schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, the VOR the VOR IndyCar Series is one of the longest running series out there. It'll be entering its 13th season coming up here. Whoa, Strauss and Lewis Nunez Lewis wanted to go to the high line, and Strauss saw it coming. He's like, nah, I'm going to run the high line now.
Lewis is going to ship it on the bottom here. If Santos gives him a lane of air, he didn't. Does he make it stick? Sliding up, losing momentum.
In the meantime, while these guys race, Edson Santos inches away. And speaking of Edson and Brazil, we got someone from Brazil checking in chat. So welcome, Brazil.
We've got a couple takers to pit road who will not make a one-stop strategy to the end, including
Bonnie and Inch.
Silvazzi.
Bonnie and Inch on pit road. Oh, Inch must have some damage. He is on an extended stop. He's already been there for 2 minutes. So this is a scheduled stop for Bonnie. And we got scheduled stops now coming in for Gretsch and Silvazzi. And Silvazzi slid through and missed his marks, so he had to back up a little bit.
That's no good for him. That's several seconds lost. Santos stays on the track.
So they're going to have to splash. Yeah, they're going to have to splash at the end. Or hope for a caution. So there's Santos. He is staying out. He needs to go another 2 more laps if he can. Julian on pit road. Luis Nunez on pit road. Again, these guys pitting a little bit earlier than so they need to do a fuel save here on this last run in order to make it without a splash at the end. Coker coming to pit road.
I don't think you can save that much. I do not think it's possible. Not without drastically reducing your pace or having a dedicated partner with you.
Well, we'll see. We're about 1 more lap away from Edson Santos really being able to do it. He is now 34 laps into his stint. Liam O'Sullivan, 34 laps into his stint. Matthias Strauss, 33 laps into his stint. Miller, 33 laps into his stint. Daniel Hesche, 33 laps into his stint. And Hugo Gallis, 32 laps into his stint. Hugo Gallis coming in, so he's coming to pit road at 66. Same thing with Liam O'Sullivan.
And Santos. And if Gallis
Hugo Gallis had to stop now. He went really short. A lot shorter than you would have thought with that top off.
I think he was trying too hard to stay up with the pack instead of being in the pack. A couple of laps we checked in on him, he was just on the coattails rather than tucked up behind.
Liam Dunn down and away, and he'll slot in behind Edson, but Julian now goes out to the lead, but Julian needs to do a fuel save to make it home on this last stint.
He can't. It is impossible. He would have to go 2 to 3 seconds a lap slower or a handful, like 5 or 6 laps. There's no way he will make it to the finish without basically stopping on track.
Yeah, I think this. If this goes green the entire way, unless these guys can save fuel, and they're so far spaced out that they're not close to one another to really help with the aid of the draft. Gretsch is 2.5 behind Altena. Now Savazzi. Now Santos just got around Nunez.
I think Nunez started his fuel save now, and he's going to tuck in behind Santos. I think he deliberately slowed down in order to be in a pack to make the fuel save. Altena does not have that. He has a bunch of seconds. He has 5 seconds back to that pack, almost 7.5 seconds now. Instead, and you'd much rather have a pack to run with.
Yeah, this whole pack is tucked in one another. They're trying to. Let's see. Let's get last lap turned in miles per hour. Yeah, Julian 221, Gretsch 220, Savazzi 221, Santos 214, Nunez 208, Strauss 213. Yeah, they are back here saving.
Also, Santos also is not drafting, right? So he's just going to putt along at whatever pace he feels is required for him to hit his number. And all these guys behind him are going to get even better mileage. So Nunez will be able to drop the hammer 2 to 3 laps, presumably, before Santos feels like he can. This is the cat and mouse game of how much do you save and how much do you push. They're already 9 seconds behind Altena. If Altena keeps that pace up, it's entirely possible he can build up a 15, 18-second lead and, stop for 2 gallons of gas and no tires and get back out on track. It is possible. It will be hard, but it is possible. Yeah, Altena put another second on them. Every lap he puts a second on is a lap that buys him time in the pits.
Yeah, that's got to be a strategy now, is just push, and make the delta so big that he can't lose the lead on pit road.
Santos is picking up the pace.
Riding with Strauss in 6th spot as he's right behind Nunez. Nunez right behind Santos.
Yeah, Santos went half a second faster that last lap than the lap before. I think he realized that he can't give up that much time to Altena. He needs to coax these guys behind him to get into racing rather than saving.
Big run for Strauss in the middle of the corner. He might have to take that, otherwise they're going to lose. They're going to lose Santos. No, he's staying in line. He says that his strategy is fuel save now. Oh, there goes Coker to the bottom. He's like, nope, I want to go to the front.
Yeah, Coker is going to be on the Altena strat. Push as hard as you can. Hope for an opportune yellow in his opportunity, or for his position. Because he's 12 seconds behind Altena, right? The 12 seconds that he has, Altena has, that's basically all the time he's going to spend on pit road, more or less.
And we're watching Coker. Yep.
Without any help running this pace in clean air, I'm going to have to get coaching from him to learn how to save that much fuel here in Michigan when you can't touch the fuel map. I have no idea how he's going to do it.
Yeah, and if you're watching from home, not familiar with these cars, the tools that normally would be available to you on fixed setups and IR18 races are not available to you in fixed setup races in DW12 or the IR05 series, the older Indy car as well. You're kind of locked in. Your fuel saving method here is clutching and coasting or lifting. So it's going to be one of your feet. There's no dial that you could reach for to turn down the engine map. The only thing you can adjust in these cars that you can't that you can also adjust in the IR18 is the brake bias.
Coker has already caught Santos. Look at the difference in pace. Ooh.
Yep, right on by. So move Coker up to 4th. He knows his strategy is to push. And again, let's take a look at last lap speeds. Yeah, Coker 220, Altena 221, Gretsch 220, Savazzi 220, Santos 215, Nunez 211. .76 of 100, so they are halfway through this run.
Booker providing just enough draft for Santos here. Oh, in the wall, Coker is. Santos has got to be licking his lips, saying, "Thank you, buddy. That's another straightaway a draft you're giving me." What a stroke of luck for Edson Santos.
And you could really hear the engines as other cars are running around here, and you can hear the whine of them is just at a different tone that they're lifting and trying to save fuel.
Yeah, Miller, Nunez, Sullivan, 22 seconds and some change now behind Altena. Altena's free and clear to come and get a stop. He could even get tires if he wanted, I think, to be competitive. Like, if Altena feels like there's any tire deg, he should pit and get these tires at, like, lap 80 so he can use them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the idea you mentioned earlier in the race, going 25, 25, 25, actually, when I was participating in the Lionheart Speedway Series when they came here at Michigan, I went ahead and opted to make that my strategy. And you could push so much harder than everyone else, almost at all times. And the tire deg was so bad toward the end of the run, especially if you're going 33 or 34, that I was passing people like they were standing still. Fortunately, I got wrecked by one of my broadcast partners later down the road. But I was moving.
My estimate, Gary, I think Edson Santos, with Shane Coker running right in front of him, Santos is going to make it to the end.
Okay.
He may be a little off the pace, but he is well within striking distance of Altena.
We'll watch this. With 21 to go, thanks again. If you're just joining us, you're watching Velocity Online Racing's coverage of round 7 of 8 of the VOR Iconic Series, coming to you from Michigan. For the Michigan 200, where Julian Altena, our points leader, currently leads with about 21 to go. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race, which is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern from Belle Isle for the IndyCar Championship. Do join us for that. It'll be right here on the Velocity Online Racing channel here on YouTube, as we are now 20 to go here and the final stages now of this Iconic Series race at this high-speed 2-mile oval.
I think Santos might reach out to Coker after this race and say, "Hey, man, do you want to be on Leaner Energy?" Doing everything a real true blue teammate would do right now.
And Gretsch now has caught Silvazzi. They are going to kind of draft off. Well, I'm sure Gretsch is probably drafting on Silvazzi.
Yeah, if they want any chance at catching Altena, if they're 5 seconds behind him, they'd have to start swapping now, or maybe come get those tires right now. Do whatever Altena does not.
Scarlett checking in chat. Here he comes. He's coming to pit road, so he is realized that he's not going to make it. So he comes down now and might go for those new set of tires and just push. But we got Scarlett in chat saying hi. I don't know if that's Indica Scarlet or what. If it is Indica Scarlet, let us know. But we are doing fine here on this beautiful Friday, cold Friday, from my broadcast location in Indianapolis, just north of Indianapolis.
Cold here in DC too.
Oof.
Coker will be putting this lap in, so no longer a teammate to Santos, looking out for his own rear end. But watching Gretsch here is going to be a great litmus test for where Altena will come out. So he has come out. He's exiting turn 1, getting off of pit road now. Where is Santos? Santos is coming down the front stretch.
But he is now all by himself. Silvazzi, I think, coming to pit road. He has thrown in the towel. Coker hitting his pit stall, going up on Jax. the admin of the Votive Racing League. Of course, you'll be participating in that later next year, early next year, on Wednesday nights. Julian still turning laps. Edson Santos still turning laps. Here comes Coker out around Santos. Christensen now
Again,
third.
That Santos has got to be so happy to see that. He thought he lost his drafting partner. He's right there. Now he's got fresh rubber.
Julian 22 laps on this stint now. Santos 20. Christensen 21. Liam O'Sullivan 19. Alexander Miller, who's worked his way up to fifth, he is now 20 laps into this stint as well. Heshy 20 laps, now 21 laps. As they're all in the same group together. They're all trying to work with one another. A little co-opetition, as I've heard them say before on NASCAR races.
Look right behind. Who's that in the mirror? It's Julian Altena, the leader.
Yes.
He's nearly lapped these guys under green.
Julian with an 18, almost 19-second lead with 14 to go. Ooh. Hugo up in the gray, giving a little kiss to the wall. I think, I think he did touch it. His ad blocker on his right side there is scuffed up.
No. See, if I were Altena, I would try to catch the draft of these guys, blow by them, blow the doors off, then come in, get my fuel, don't take tires, and hope that you made up enough time to still finish on the podium. I think Edson Santos is going to steal the win here, barring a yellow, but I think Altena's built up enough of a gap on the rest of these folks. He should finish second.
And that will really help him in the points championship going to the final race. Again, let's bring up those points. It's 46, and even if Santos finishes ahead of him a little bit, he'll only gain about 10 points. I think that's the difference between first and second. And Julian would have a 30-ish point lead going to the final race, which is a pretty big buffer. Especially if the field's going to be small like it is today.
I think Gretsch and Silvazzi are making a huge mistake. They are not swapping together. They're fighting every corner. They're on their fresh tires. They're only a tenth of a second faster or so than Altena, who's on old, battered tires. They could be working together to catch that pack up there, which is all for position. They may be one lap down now, but the only car between them that has them a lap down is Altena. And when Altena pits, that whole fuel-saving pack is up for grabs. Those are all spots. Gretsch and Silvazzi are effectively fighting for third place in my eyes, but they're not going to get there because instead of cooperating, they're fighting. And Altena has caught the fuel savers.
Yeah, and one of which right in front of him is his teammate. He's coming to pit road.
He's coming to pit road.
Final stop, 10 to go. It's going to be a splash and dash. Probably not even enough time to change tires. We'll see.
All right, Santos is on the backstretch, entering turn 3 right now. He will pass Altena while Altena's in the pits. Just question is, how far ahead will he be by the time Altena gets rolling?
Oh, Julie going up on Jax. He's going to new tires.
There goes Santos into turn 1. Altena is leaving the pits, still under limiter. And now he can push. He's going to be about 10 seconds behind Santos, but he's going to be coming out right at the tail end of that fuel-saving pack. So again, for Altena, these are all positions. For him to finish second, he just has to pass them all. And that should be trivial, because he no longer has to save. He has fresh rubber, and he's going to tow himself up on
and light tanks, yeah. Fresh rubber, light tanks. He's going to be flying out there. So Santos now picking up the lead, looking for another victory here in the series. Santos has 3 career wins here and is a former series champion of the Iconic Series.
Let's watch Julian here. He's going to get 3 cars on the front straightaway.
He's looking for win number 4, career number 4 here in the DW12 series. Let's go back to Julian. Look at him. Just dives underneath. Wow.
See you later. Hey, man, I know he runs this league. Why's he got 100 extra horsepower? It's not the horsepower, it's the fuel.
He is now up to 6 now. 7 to go. Santos, your leader. Christensen, now 30 laps into his stint. Can he go another 7? That might be questionable. O'Sullivan might be the one that can do it. I think it'll be tight. I'm with you. I'm not sure any of these guys can make it.
I mean, O'Sullivan probably will. They've been running so slow and in the draft the whole time. He will probably make it. He's going to be racing for 3rd against Gretsch and Silvazzi, in my opinion. Because Gretsch and Silvazzi now have caught the 3 that Julian passed on the front stretch, and they're going to blow by them on the front stretch.
Christensen has to surrender.
Nunez just about lost it, hitting the apron off of turn 4. Silvazzi gets by. Gretsch will get by.
All right, Julian's with this group. He's going to go look to the high side. Ooh, around Liam. Liam's got to give him a little bit more room than that. Julian probably didn't really, Julian really needed the best line to keep his foot in it and not lift, and so went high. Probably wasn't.
Julian can see Edson Santos.
Yeah.
Julian has his target acquired. He has 4 laps, 3 laps to go hunt him down. Not even 3 seconds. He is eating into the lead. The Flying Dutchman coming back from an extra pit stop. Will he catch Santos? His teammate Christensen ahead to give a draft. It's gonna be close, folks.
Nunez off the pace, turning to the inside on the back stretch. And he's done. Santos coming to 3 to go. I think we got a bit of a sitting duck situation. Unless he saved enough down and he knows he can light the wick and turn the fire up.
He's like, where is Shane Coker? Where is Shane Coker? I need him.
Now we're trying to break the draft down the backstretch. That time by Julian. Half a second, well, more than half a second. It was Edson Santos at 33.8. Julian was at 32.2. 3 to go, coming 2 to go. Julian's going to get a big run on the high side. He's there. He doesn't even follow. He just stays up high, keeps the momentum. And Julian to the lead. 2 to go, coming to the white flag.
What a barn burner.
Oh, and Santos can't do it. He's got to come to pit road.
Consider the coaching sessions canceled, Edson.
Daniel Hesse now moves to 2nd. Liam O'Sullivan now 3rd. As they're going to battle it out on the last lap. Julian, half a lap to go down the backstretch, looking for another victory. This will tie him with Rafi Eckert for the most wins all time in the series. Off of corner number 3 and 4. Fuel save, schmule save. Throw it all out. Julian wins on speed here at Michigan. Wow, what a victory. What a win. What a race.
That is daggers for Edson Santos championship, I believe. Puts him in a do or die situation next week at Las Vegas.
And we will see. Edson won the opener at Indianapolis. Julian won the next 3 at Nashville, California, and Pocono. Craig Forsyth won out of Kentucky. Matt Wagner won in his first series start at Phoenix back at our last race in November 15th. Julian today wins at Michigan on anything but a fuel save. He just out-sprinted everyone there at the end.
while his teammate Liam came home second, saving fuel, and Hashi third saved a whole extra lap over O'Sullivan and brought it home, bottom step of the podium. His first podium of the season. Congratulations to Daniel. Very active in the community Discord. Good to see him get a good result here today.
And let's get in.
Then Silvazzi and Gretsch, their determination to work against each other instead of together put them 5 seconds behind Elpeno, when I think they could have been right at his heels.
Julian with the win over 2 seconds over Liam O'Sullivan. Daniel Hesje finishes third. Strauss fourth. Silvazzi fifth. Gretsch sixth. Coker seventh. Santos eighth. And we're going to see when the points get added up here how critical or detrimental it is to his effort. And in fact, I think he was just getting ready to go down a lap, and that's why it has all those zeros there at the deficit for him. Christensen ninth. Miller in his first start in the series, very impressive there, 10th. Hugo Gallas 11th, Nunez 12th, Inch 13th, Bonnie 14th, Yellen 15th, and Mike Robinson 16th. That is the remainder of your 16-car field. All right, fastest lap was Julian there, 32.173. He kind of set that in the closing moments.
Yeah, when your car weighs nothing, it's all you got
true.
Fresh tires and a slipstream from the guy saving up in front. Go as fast as you want. No more speed limits for Mr. Alpeno.
All right, and we'll get some replays queued up here. And bring up Daniel here in just a second. He had himself a good race. So everybody in Brazil is cheering him on. So we'll get him up in the booth just here and now in a second and talk to the podium. Here he is. Daniel, welcome to the podium. Congratulations on the fuel save and the podium finish. Talk about your race. I mean, a lot of it seemed to be in line trying to save fuel, but it really paid off for you there at the end.
Yes, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Kyle. It was a race with extreme fuel saving, so I had an idea. I saved a lot in the first stint. The yellow did not help me because of that. I saved a lot in the first part, so I knew I had to do 35 laps a stint to finish the race. I knew some people would try the same as I was trying. But I need to spend a little more fuel than I expected in the first stint, and I knew I need to be very slow in the final part of the race. But at some point, we were too slow in the group because the guys who were in the front of the group was trying to save everything they could and hoping for somebody to take the front and push the group. So I knew it was very hard to fight Julian. Because of that, he would pit and come back very fast, maybe even in front of us. And I also knew that Leon had one lap more than me to save, so this would be easier for him to save. So I was in place probably for a third place, and that's what happened.
Well, the points just got updated, and by virtue of your finish, you've up in the top 10 now. You're currently 8th going into the final race at Las Vegas. Not too bad, really, in your kind of first full season here with the crew.
Yes, I think I did a good season so far. I made some mistakes, and I lose some races in this season, so this is a problem for my scoring. But thinking about the race I was here, I think I did a good season so far. My second podium.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. This race, people race so clean. That was really a clean race. I knew it was an extreme saving fuel race. It was very nice. I need to also thank my team, BGR, who Black Gold. They were with me in the Discord server. We had a lot of people from other teams there too, some helping me with the calculations of the fuel I needed to finish. And also, I didn't update yet the car livery, but we are now partners with Maconi Setup Shop. So great, Hug and Jeff Maconi and all the team. They are doing a great job. And with the coupon Black Gold, you have 15% off in any purchase of the site.
Wow, very nice. Marconi Setup Shop, we know them pretty well. We've helped them a couple times in some of their broadcastmen and some of their races. So, well, congratulations, man. Second podium of the year, and you're only 1 point behind Hugo Gallus for 7th. And kind of in the neighborhood of Craig Forsyth in 6th. So with a good finish at Las Vegas, you might sneak your way into the top 5. And that's for a first season and everything. That's a really great finish. And looking to build all that momentum to the next season, I would say that your season 5 is looking pretty positive so far. And we're not even done with season 4. So congratulations. You got all your shout-outs in. You're a man. You're a pro. You've done this before. You know what you're doing. So we're going to let you go celebrate. But great finish for you today.
Thank you, guys. And I'll do my best in the last race of the season.
We know you will. Take care.
Parabéns, Daniel. Parabéns.
Obrigado.
All right. Yeah, very happy, Daniel Hesche. And there you see, started 3rd. Got down to 11th, finished 3rd, started 11th, got as low as 15th, high as 2nd, gained 8 spots to bring that home on the bottom step of the podium. I don't think he led any laps today. Let's see. Did he lead any laps? No laps led. Let's bring in Liam. What's that?
The highest ran was 2nd, which means he didn't lead any laps.
Yep. Here is Liam. And yet another podium for you, Liam. Congrats. Talk about your race. Just another fuel save event here at Michigan.
Yeah, I feel like we have so many of them in the DW12s, and this is the first one that really kind of worked out for me. So number 12, Velocity Online Racing team, hand in hand Chevy, was solid, obviously, on the fuel save and fuel economy, which I'll be hoping to see in Belle Isle tomorrow as well. And yeah, it gives us some good momentum heading into tomorrow at what is a critical round in the championship.
Talk about the race today. You were kind of around your teammate for a while, and then he kind of separated. Was that just differing strategies? He decided that he wanted to push while you decided to stay back and save?
I decided that whatever strategy Edson was on was probably the right strategy, as we've seen quite a lot of times.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, if I stick with him or perhaps do that strategy better than him, I've got a very good chance of winning. Because we've said it before, Julian's better in this car than he is in the modern car for whatever reason. And what cost us was we ran about 6 or 7 laps when no one wanted to lead and we were doing about 35-second lap times.
Right.
If we didn't do that, and I mean, there was a few guys in that group who didn't end up making it or were never going to make it. Like, I don't know why some of them didn't lead the group, because they were screwing their own race even when they weren't going to make it. So I don't understand why they didn't take the lead, which is something I wasn't expecting to happen when there's 6 or 7 cars in a group and half of them know they're not going to make it. But like, why don't you pull the group along so you make your position a bit better than what it already is? But at the end of the day, that's racing, and that's what played out. And 2 seconds off Julian. I crossed the line with 0.6 litres spare, so I wouldn't have been able to fight him. He took new tyres at the pit stop, so even if I had the fuel, I wouldn't have been able to fight him because tyres matter so much around here. So yeah, I tried to get him up into the marbles and squeezing up a bit in the wall, but when he's that fast on new tyres, you just can't do anything against that. But obviously, well done to him on winning the championship, and I'll look to sweep it for the team in the following 2 rounds in the other series.
Yeah, just looking at the points here, and I think he has clinched the championship. I think 50 points go to the winner. And I'm not sure what. I don't think there's any bonus points that he gives or anything. So I think it's just 50 straight points to the winner. And he has a 69-point lead over you. You're now second, 5 points ahead of Edson Santos. So yeah, it looks like with a good finish next week at Vegas for you and also Julian, maybe the top 2 steps will go to you in the championship. But maybe if you can help out Christensen, maybe you guys can sweep the podium, because he's only 36 behind Santos. That's a big margin to try to make up in one race, especially when the fields aren't that big. But all in all, the team looks real strong to finish out the final couple races of the season here. Any other shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, first I want to shout out John. I know he's had a rough time in the R18s this season, and for him to be 4th in here's a good morale booster for him. I've been, as I've come into this team this season, I've seen his data. I can see that improvement. It's a shame it hasn't shown on the track. I'm fully expecting him to be stronger, so he is someone to watch out for coming into next season. Shout outs, Mum, Dad, Grandad are watching. Sorry, it was a bit of a boring one for me. Fuel saving. I'll pick a more entertaining strategy next time. But yeah, hand in hand sponsoring the car. They've been really good, and I've enjoyed having them on the car. I know a bit of a surprise to them, and those folks are happy kind of having it on the car. It's a new thing for them. And yeah, Belle Isle, where there's definitely some stiff competition waiting tomorrow, which I'm expecting to be really tough.
Well, there you have it. That will be tomorrow for the IR18, the IndyCar Championship, which you're in the running for as well. But, man, congrats today. The strategy worked your way at the end there. Got on the second step of the podium. Looks like you moved up to second in the playoffs. We don't do playoffs here. That's a gimmick.
We're not NASCAR.
We don't do that, but we're second now in the standings for the championship. So congrats there. 1 week, next week is Vegas. We'll run out the rest of the season, so we'll see you then. But congrats on the podium today.
Yep, thanks, guys, as always.
And before we bring up Julian, just got a note from Dan Inch on lap 25. He says, Nunez came too close behind me, then swooped left, and his right front wing tapped my left rear wheel cover, causing me to wiggle and fight for control. I came away from the wall, and then we hit side by side. He was making it sound. He just said that we might have made it sound like he was weaving on the backstretch. Not the case.
Yeah, he was weaving to establish control. It wasn't anything malicious.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you there. Yeah.
Sorry if I misspoke.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, so you got to replay if you want it. That's okay. We saw it, but we believe it. We don't think anything really malicious was happening there. I think that might have been caused by Nunez, but mostly a racing incident. So. Thanks for clearing that up. Let's bring up Julian here, and I'm sure he's going to be very happy. Here he is. Julian, I believe you clinched the championship today. Great finish. What a great strategy. I mean, at the end, pitting with, 10 to go, light tanks, put on a new set of tires, and you were a bullet there in those last 10 laps, and you just not only won the race, but you ran him down and pulled away there to get the win. Congratulations, man. What a strategy.
Thanks. Yeah, I was just using push to pass in places it wasn't allowed. Chevy power for the win. So no, seriously, that was the best race of the season. I'm a bit biased because I won, but seriously, the amount of passing and the amount of strategy involved, it was genuinely unbelievable. It was such an awesome race. And Michigan just keeps on delivering. And in a way, I'm really sad that we only had 16 people here for the race. We should have had way more. So people watching, sign up for the series, come run it with us. We need more people.
Yeah.
Because the racing that this car produces, especially at this track, it's just phenomenal. With the setup that we got, we just nailed it this time we came here in April. Same conditions, same everything. And it just doesn't disappoint. The amount of passing you can do and the amount of management that comes into it, it really makes for a great race. So yeah, like you mentioned, I drove through those guys like a bullet, and I just knew that once I called the guys before my pit stop that I was right with them. I knew that I would rejoin the track right behind them as well. And with fresh tires, that was always going to be the plan, to just take them and go fast and turn left and get the fastest lap and everything for all the bonus points. And yeah, Liam just didn't have anything. I thought he had more fuel than he really did at the end. Because to be honest, he did mention it. He was telling me that he was close, but I wasn't paying attention because I was trying to charge forwards. So I thought he would have been good and he could have probably gone with 6 to go, but he just told me he couldn't. So that explains that as well. But yeah, phenomenal race by Liam and myself for the 1-2 finish. Liam is a bit annoyed, but he really did do a great job to finish second.
The bonus points are what? Leading the lap, leading the most laps, and pole. Is that the bonus points?
I believe there's also one for fastest lap.
And fastest lap, okay. Which you got. You got that one as well.
Let me check right now. Let me check right now real quick. Oh, no, it's the actual IndyCar point system from 2013. Oh, I was confused with the main series. Okay, then never mind. Yeah, leading 1 lap, pole position is 1 bonus point, and then most laps led is 2 bonus points. But doesn't matter, I won the championship. So
right, you did.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Nope, it doesn't. Clindy, you got any questions for our race winner and now, 2-time series champion?
I don't have any questions. I just want to congratulate him, man. You really looked like you played with your food today. You picked the right strategy and you committed to it, right? You didn't lollygag around. You just went full bore the whole way, and it's to be commended. I knew you weren't going to save the gas or even try to save the gas. I just wondered if you'd have the pace, and you did. And Edson decided to make it a little interesting for us. So always good fun to watch strategy races unfold like that, and for the fastest driver to get rewarded. So really, really well done all season long and in today. So look forward to watching you tear it up tomorrow at Belle Isle.
Thanks. Yeah, I got some ground to make up in the points. At least Jesper is not there, so we're going to focus on clinching it for Liam tomorrow, if possible. Because going into the last race of the season, the last race cannot be dropped even in the DW12. So we're gonna try to get the best team result possible tomorrow for Liam, and we'll see how it goes from there. But that's going to be the focus. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and everyone else who came out. Alex for sponsoring the series, and Andrew for finally finishing the overlay with the manufacturers. It only took him 7 months, but we finally got there in the end. So that's the most important thing.
That's the as you see people watching, right? That's that little symbol right there in the overlay that Julian's been after for the better part of this entire season.
It's all about presentation, especially for me. You know,
Yep.
a bit of OCD in there, a bit of autism. You know, just get all the details right, and it looks great. So I'll do my happy autistic claps and get some food finally, because I still need to have dinner. So thanks a lot, guys. Absolutely, winner chicken nugget dinner.
There we go. Chicken nugs on the menu tonight. Well, congratulations. We'll catch you tomorrow when the IndyCar Championship goes to Belle Isle. But go celebrate tonight. Now the two-time series champion here in the Iconic Series, Julian Altena. Congrats, man.
Thank you. See you guys.
And there you have it. So we there's not really much drama now going into Championship Friday next Friday. It's Championship Friday in name only, I guess. But Julian has the performance today, and the math adds up, and especially with that late stop by Edson, that he had to, that kind of changed the math and put Julian enough out in front where he will have enough points that he really doesn't even have to start the race at all if he doesn't want to next week.
But he can't drop it, so he may as well show up.
Right, exactly.
I hope to race next week in the IR18s at Vegas, and if he lets me, I'd love to be in the booth while I drive, but it's more up to you, Gary, so I know I won't talk over you. I'll be there more if you have questions rather than saying, hey, look at me, I'm on the track.
We'll talk about it. I've never had an in-car live green flag in-car correspondent we run a pretty clean language channels here, and I know that we get excited behind the wheel sometimes. So I hate to break that streak, but yeah, we'll talk about it and see what happens. But your final thoughts here, Michigan. I thought it was another good race, despite the fuel save. I think it was some people were fuel saving, and others. Very clearly, from when we were here last time, thought that the strategy was to just push, and go for that extra pit stop by pushing yourself so far out in front that when you come to pit road, you'll be light tanks on fresh tires, and you can just push faster than everyone else for the end.
Yeah, really, I think Julian walked away with this race when, exactly like Liam said, there was a bit of indecision from that pack about who wanted to lead and who wanted to save really hard, and that cost them 2 or 3 seconds a lap for 2 to 3 laps, right? And if you look at the final standings, Liam and Daniel Hashey were only 2 seconds behind where Julian finished. If they would have sorted that out and had someone else lead the pack who knew they weren't going to make it, and didn't want to commit to full pushing and banking on a yellow, then they would be the winners today. But Julian got rewarded for going hammer down, full throttle, full freebird. So go turn on some American rock music, bang your head a little, grow your hair out, and I'll be excited for next week at Vegas and tomorrow at Belle Isle. This was honestly the most fun race to shoutcast I've done so far for the Iconic Series. Just the different strategies, the really close finish. When you have those disparate strategies, it usually doesn't come down to a last lap or second to last lap pass. So that was just very entertaining and very, very fun to watch, and very fun to think about where all the different strategies would shake out.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it always seems like anymore, it doesn't really matter what's racing at Michigan, whether it be the DW12s or the IR18s, they always seem to deliver here. So it always makes Michigan a bit more of an event and less of a race, if that makes sense, as everyone kind of looks forward to coming to Michigan, because different strategies, or it turns into a pack race. Either way, that very entertaining. I agree. Well, let's get on out of here and give everyone back their Friday. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium for the Michigan 200 from Michigan International Speedway is Julian Altena, getting another win this season and clinching the championship. He finishes over his teammate Liam O'Sullivan in second, and Daniel Heshey with his second podium of the season coming home third. Join Clindy and myself again next week for Championship Friday and round 8 of Season 4 of the VOR Iconic Series as the teams and drivers head to Las Vegas for the final race of the season to crown a new champion. Well, that champion's been crowned. That will be Julian. But there's still some other positions in the grid and in the championship that still need to be decided, and you won't want to miss it. Coverage, as always, will begin at approximately 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 3:00 p.m. Eastern. And remember, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/ or just search Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below and let us know you thought of today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, or while you at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing program, including action from their IR18 Sprint and their IndyCar Championship Series. The VOR Iconic Series is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most out of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, contact Alexander Bonney at alex@ifspfp.com, and you'll find that email in the description today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter and Instagram. Again, all the links you need are right in the description. For business inquiries and learn more about Velocity Online Racing, visit velocityonlineracing.com, like them on Facebook, or follow them on Twitter. So for Clindy and everyone here at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Godsoe saying all happy Friday. Thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Las Vegas for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing Iconic Series. See ya, and happy holidays.